Welcome back to the grind for another Abyss guide. This is using my rank 4 Apocalypse versus Hulk Ragnarok in the Abyss. Now, this is path 5. I'm doing the Mutant Domination challenge. So we have a team of mutants. The first run, we did 25% with Cable. Cable is also a decent option for this fight. He was able to get more, but I did mess up and I ended up falling below 20% health, which one of the abyssal abilities, actually I think it's just one of Hulk's abilities. When you fall below 20% health, there's a chance that Hulk will either gain a Fury or gain a regen, and it is a massive regen. So you have to be able to block it out completely, otherwise it's going to really hurt your run. So I paused it and I ended up having to quit out early with Cable. Now we're going in this time with Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is also a great option for this. If you have max to spare, you can cut out the regen if the situation arises. But in this run, we're mostly going to be looking at the damage that he can do. Now against Hulk Ragnarok, you can't do more than, I believe it's 10% of your base attack rating in a single hit. However, this does not count damage over time or burst abilities. So all the red numbers are able to bypass this. So Cable has some pretty strong degen and he can stack a ton of them, so that helps. And Apocalypse has a lot of damage over time just from having those debuffs applied, his bleeds, as well as the burst damage on his special attacks. And for this run, I do have Strife, and with Strife, the more special attacks you throw, the higher that burst damage gets from your special attacks. So we're still working on the ramp up phase right now. We did a special 1 and then a special 2, and now we're throwing a special 3 to make those debuffs permanent and double potency. Now at this point, you can slow play it so that you have as much damage over time as possible. And I think as the fight goes on, I start to slow play it more, or in the second attempt, I slow played it more. But I was able to get a huge chunk off in this fight, and it's not going to be the whole run. I think I was able to get him down to about 30% in this run, and so Apocalypse is a fantastic option for this fight. And now I don't have to worry as much about refreshing the debuffs with my heavies, but I'm primarily using heavies because it gains a lot of power for just 2 hits. And if I was to just wait around a little bit until the timer, the hit me coward timer was lower, it would allow us to have more damage over time for the maximum amount of charges, or I guess the minimum amount of charges. And the play here is just to cycle special 1s now, because you get more burst hits from cycling special 1s than you would going to special 2. So it gets you more damage overall, especially because the majority of your damage is going to come from those burst hits. So now the hit me coward went up, so I just attacked into the block to stun him and then get that hit in to turn it off, so I wasn't losing as many of my skirmish charges. And look, you can see already we're doing over 10,000 per burst hit for each hit of the special attack. Now, in the interest of time, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here, and unfortunately I don't have the full fight or closer to the end of the fight where we are dealing more burst damage, but because my phone space, my storage space is limited right now and I'm doing the full path, I want to have enough space to record the clips that I need, and so we don't have the high burst damage in this fight. But check out some of my other Apocalypse videos for this run, because there is some pretty nasty burst damage, and we're already up to, I think it's over 17,000 per burst damage, but in some fights after throwing a bunch of special attacks, we're getting it well over 20,000 burst damage per hit of the special attacks. And so that last one was just over 15,000 bursts per hit. And basically this is the play. You're slow playing to save as much skirmish charges as possible. You want to make sure you hit them relatively frequently, but not too quick, because you want to use up as much of that skirmish timer or the hit me coward timer as possible without it actually running out, so that you don't go into the phase where you're losing a ton of charges. Now, that's all I have for this clip, unfortunately, but you can do a ton of damage against Hulk Ragnarok with Apocalypse doing this. So I hope that this was helpful. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope to see you in the next video.